Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic. Now, I've got some ideals that I've kind of gone over. I've been seeing a lot of videos, well, not too many, of rides in Scrap Mechanic, and kind of want to give it a shot here and try to create a carnival ride. I've looked through some photos and kind of got an idea of what type of ride I want to create. And I've already gone through and made a base here and picked out some blocks and different things that I might want to use. So this is going to probably take a little bit to make it work how I want it to. I'm going to need to kind of start on one side here. It's going to be one of those rides. It's going to lift you in the air and it's going to spin you. But I have to even check to see what it's called. Let's create a kind of a base here. There we go. Not even sure if this is going to be high enough off the ground yet, or there's a lot of things that I'm playing through my head here of how this is going to need to work. Okay. And there we go. Okay, that should be even. Let's give it a look here. It's turning. I'll probably have to put more power into the engine once I put the seats on there. Anyways, the ideal is to have probably 2 seats on each point, or maybe 4, and those seats themselves are actually going to also spin. Which I just thought of something. Yeah, this whole ride's going to need to be a little bit taller because this point's going to actually need to go down because those seats are going to be spinning and they're going to have to clear the actual part here. So probably going to skip ahead here. I'm going to need to make this thing taller, but I've got the ideal down of what I need to do, so looks good. Okay, we're going to need a bearing here. Let's put it right there. Now we're going to need to come down. I'm going to come down a little bit because everything's going to be spinning, so I need to make sure it clears the body itself here, or the crane part. What part do I want to use? I want to use something that actually matches a little bit. Let's just throw a couple of these bad boys in there. Make it come down. I'm thinking about to here. That should clear it, and then we'll have the block here, and we can go out. Guess I can redo how far I'm going to go out. Let's go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So is that 12? Make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, let's just do this on each side. So the first sequence of the ride would be, of course, to lift. And then we would start spinning. Thinking I might need to make the points a little longer. We'll go about 4 more blocks. But they do look even. Actually, looks like this one might be off. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. Okay, I think we're ready to start doing the actual seating area here. And how do I want to do this? I need the seating. I'm not going to have the seating itself. I don't know if I'm going to have it spin. I might keep it kind of free and let it kind of naturally turn the riders over. So I'm thinking of having maybe a point here that goes down. Have 2 seats attached. I don't know, is that going to... I'm trying to think of the best way to actually turn the riders over. So it's going to be kind of an interesting little bit of an interesting problem I'm looking at here. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to visualize this in my head, how this is going to work. And I think I know. You know what? I have an idea. I think I know how this needs to work. I'm gonna make this come down. Let's come down to nope. Oh, it's definitely wrong material. I don't want to use that. 1, 2, 3. Let's have it come down 3 on each of them here. 3. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have on each side is going to be bearings with the hope that they're going to spin. Now, I've got to figure out how I'm going to balance these because I need the seats to sit upright when it's down. That way it actually looks like I can load passengers here. So, see what happens. I know I wanted to turn that way. Let's see if I can balance it out here. Okay, that's fairly odd. I might have to set these up on the controller. I'm not 100% sure. See what happens when I stick 2 seats on here. Of course, it's gonna clomp its head here. Let me just keep doing that. Going to use that brick eventually, but don't need it right now. Let's go ahead and set another controller up. I need these to set up right while I build them. And I'm not 100% sure how I want to make these things spin. And I'm playing it through my head. There's always a lot of figuring out that I need to do here. Let's see if I add that. Might be a little tedious to make sure all the bearings are everything's just setting up right. Oh, wrong way. You know what? Let's just put the seats on the other side. Okay, let's hook everything to this controller ahead of time. That way everything's happy here. Seem to be budging. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to overcome this. I need this thing to lift up to a certain angle, and I'm not getting cooperation anymore. Hook the controller back up to it and see. That at 75. So it shifted a little bit there. I'm going to create another lift here. That should be free to move. So I'm going to have something. I'm going to have another set here, almost act as almost just assist it up and see if that would be something that would actually fix the issue here. So let's go ahead and create another little box here. We'll go ahead and connect it. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing that I've been doing. I need to set this on a bearing at first to, not a bearing, a controller to stabilize it, because I don't feel like attempting to work with this until it's stable here. That way I can actually work on it. As soon as you activate anything, it tips it. So my thought is to have this here. We're going to have another set of poles coming out here, or beams. These are going to push upward and hopefully assist the machine up. Now this ideal might completely just bomb and not work, but it could be wrong and it might work. Let's see, have those hooked into there. Have those into a switch over here. Now there's somebody probably watching the video and be like, well, you could have done it, you know, this way or this way, but this is the way my mind's thinking right now, so this is kind of how it's going to work. Let's go ahead and see if... Okay, that needs to go opposite. Now let's repower the top one here. Let's see if we can force this to press with all its might here. No, that doesn't seem to be cooperating the way it should be, or the way I want it to. Oh my! Alright, that's a little too far. Might just need to build out and build more of a base. I'm trying to make this look as stable as anything here. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I'm happy that this is working. I'm happy that this is all coming together. I wouldn't say that it's coming together how I was, as smooth as I was planning it for it to, but it's coming together good enough. Now, here's going to be the tricky part again. We're going to reapply weight. Let's see, we 3 down. Okay, I need to be 2 more. Yeah, it's going to be the point of this reapplying weight, and hopefully it has enough power to once again lift and to be consistent here. I mean, I really want to have 2 seats on each side, like so. Maybe the seat is not going to set on just 3 blocks. It's going to need to be something like that. And here we go. We're weighing ourselves down again. This is going to need to set up. I'm going to actually have a kind of a safety bar that's going to come over. Let's see, probably about like that. So let's do it again on this side. I might have to let those seats hang on. I mean, it looks like they're hanging off a little bit, but they're really actually okay. But I'm going to probably have to keep them that way. Up. That's where the safety bar is going to go. Alright, do we still lift? That's the question. I'm going to go with no, but hopefully I'm wrong, and I'm not wrong, because that's just a massive amount of weight. Okay, oh boy, this is fun. That still spins. There's that. I mean, it's grinding against the ground, so I imagine it would spin a little better. It's a question of actually making this thing lift, and that's the question. That's a very hard one to answer too. Could be an extreme ride and have the rockets power it, but just for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and place a couple rockets on it. And just actually got to find the rockets where they won't actually interfere with the thing here. There we go. We'll place one here. So let's move it over a little. Yeah, let's just kind of place it in the middle. Of course not. There we go. It's just a high-powered beast. Another switch here. Actually, I think this needs to run off of the button, but I don't know. I've already kind of screwed this build, so let's just mess it up even further here, so as soon as I can find the button. See, I can't even find buttons right now. It must be one of those days. I don't know, can I just use a switch to do it? Just to keep them on 4? Oh, I can. Okay. No. Just gonna keep them up full power, so... You know that's bad when even that can't even lift it. That shows we are just absolutely too heavy. Now this went from kind of a logical design to a really just screwed up one. Yeah, I don't wonder if I'm looking at this completely wrong. I don't wonder if I just need a counterweight. My God, that's painful if that's really what I need here is a counterweight. Should have thought about this earlier. This probably would have been a great idea to be like, you know what, maybe I should add weight to the back to help this thing lift. I'm not sure what's happening here. Ah! Okay, let's need some more clearance here, so we're going to need to delete a little more. We're going to have to delete some off the bottom here. Back. Okay, I need to find the way when I stop those, where it's going to tip back. Alright, that's that. We need to make a station here. Because I need somewhere where I can operate this thing safely, because this thing looks really dangerous, so what do you think? I'm also going to need to create one more set of motors. I want these to spin also, and I need to do my innovative safety measures for something that doesn't look very safe at all. So let's go ahead. I think over here would be fine. And a lot of good and a lot of bad. Guess I could go ahead and probably should be hooking the other side. This might be chalked as a success, or it might be a big failure. There we go. Gonna start tipping those down. I mean, they already have the belts, but it's always nice to have a little bit of extra security because, you know, you don't want to fall and die out of this thing. That wouldn't be very fun. You know, now that I'm tempted, that I'm in the process of using rockets, I almost want to attach rockets to the ends of some of these just to get it to spin really fast. And just go ahead and kick the extreme factor out all the way, but should probably wait and not do that. I don't know. It's tempting. Now that kind of how the build's already gone and how screwy it's been, it's just tempting to go all out with it and make the most extreme vomit-inducing ride that I can think of, but I don't know. Still thinking about it. But, of course, safety first, sure. Let's go ahead and get our safety measures in place. And get the lap bar down. Of course, for a ride like this, I'd probably be asking for the bars that also go over my shoulders, but no. We don't need to be that safe. Don't need it at all. So, let's hook that there. Alright, let's add bars going across. Of course, that's not working because reasons. Did I need to be one higher, or do I need to come out one? I might need to come out one. Let's see. There's the piece I'm looking for. Let's delete that. One out. One over. There we go. Probably should have thought about that in the first place, but, you know. Let's try this. Power it down, and it locks right there in place. Okay. That's figured out. So, basically, ride startup would be lock into place. And go ahead and start the lifting. And this would start the spinning. And this one's going to start the spinning of the bearings here, so it should get the guest spinning around. I need to figure out a way. I don't like the speed. The speed's so inconsistent on this damn thing that's kind of bugging me. I mean, it started going really fast a while ago, and now it's not wanting to do that. Yeah, we're set up to max power here. Of course, this thing might freak out once I start making the chairs themselves spin, too. But that wouldn't be until the ride is set up in the air before I go to that point. Let's go ahead and add a little more weight. Since we've added those safety features, we'll probably need a little more weight in the back. Alright, we've prettied it up. I've done any cosmetic work that I want to do it. Let's just test out for everything, make sure it functions correctly. I don't think I'm going to be able to ride it because I'm not going to be able to jump into it, but if I had somebody else playing, of course they could test out actually riding it. But you can imagine what it's going to look like. It's just going to spin you around and make you dizzy. Anyways, we've got our rockets here that are going to power and lift this massive pole, or massive beams, and then we've got a counterweight that's going to also assist into that. So let's go to where we operate this beast. Got some tunes if you want to listen to some radio, and of course you let the guest load up into the ride itself. Lock them down. Start the lifting process, which lifts a lot faster now. Start spinning, and start turning, which this will in turn this will speed up everything, speed up the whole process. This thing actually looks really neat. Actually really happy with the build. See it from all angles. And eventually once this thing stops, see the seats will line back up. And we can start the process of lowering here. So we leave this switch on, we would actually turn that switch off. Well, actually, we can keep them spinning as we come down. Turn the rockets off. The weight starts to balance it back. Starts pushing back. It's a fairly slow. To actually, notice to speed it up, I can actually reactivate the turning of the seats, but it also decapitates everybody once it gets to the ground. So it's probably not the safest thing to do. So we let the ride come back down, and we release the guest. There's the guest sets in here. It looks a little funky there, but once the bar is down, it actually looks like the hands will rest correctly. And that's it. That's that. That took a little more effort than I thought it was going to, and it didn't quite. Well, the way I pictured this in my head, I wasn't going to use rockets to actually lift this thing up, but I'm kind of glad that I did because it actually makes it really pretty unique, and I like it. Anyways, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm going to continue to do more scrap mechanic videos, and we'll just keep pumping these things out and kind of wait for some new updates and see what they do to the game. So we'll see you guys next time.